So today I want to talk about what's the difference between a startup CEO versus an established CEO. I'm Patrick Bedivy, your host of Valuetainment Weekly, and when we look at this question here, what's the difference between a startup, a CEO and a established CEO? The best example I can think about is Steve Jobs versus Tim Cook of the same company, Apple, right? So on one side, they are complete opposite type of CEOs. You have Steve Jobs on one side, that's a startup CEO, which he is driven by crisis. Tim Cook is driven by stability, and performance. Steve Jobs is driven by being unpredictable. Tim Cook is driven by being predictable. Steve Jobs is driven by hoarding cash. Tim Cook has cash, he wants to spend cash. So Steve Jobs got a lot of criticism for hoarding cash. Why? Because as a startup entrepreneur, when you're there and you're going through it and you realize how close you are to go out of business, you see the value of having cash on hand. Because when you don't have that, that's when you go out of business. So a Tim Cook does not know what it is to go through that. He comes in to cash. So he is more open to want to acquire companies, kind of like Tim Cook is thinking about buying the company by Dre Beats. He wants to buy that company. Why? Because they have access to cash to go acquire another company and pay him $3.2 billion, while Jobs want everything to be self-created, inside out. Complete different ways of thinking about it. Now, who is right? Who is wrong? Who is better? Who is weaker? Both of them are needed. There is not one that's more important than the other. Obviously, Steve Jobs gives birth to the opportunity, which is very, very important. But Tim Cook comes and stabilizes that opportunity, which investors like to see a company with stability. One drives, the other one needs to know how to drive and stabilize together. But if done the right way, you can have an incredible opportunity for them to do so. It's just knowing that a Tim Cook wouldn't make a startup CEO and a Steve Jobs would not necessarily make the best established CEO with no crisis to solve. If you position them properly, you have a winning formula for that company and organization. It's my message of the week to you, and please be sure to subscribe to the channel and comment on the bottom. The best thing, because we don't have them. Tim Cook believes in acquisition. Acquisition. Accusation is not what it is. Okay. All right, ready? Ready?